Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar this afternoon. I'm just going to allow a couple of seconds for everyone to join us on this lovely sunny afternoon. And this afternoon, I have Finola Howard with me. Finola, I have been absolutely intrigued by her thinking on marketing. I think is really unique and innovative, and her lifestyle is even more unique and innovative, and of that I'm extremely envious, and I hope you don't mind me sharing it, or I'm going to share it anyway. Finola lives in Dunmore East, which is a lovely spot of Ireland, and goes swimming regularly, and she then gets in her camper van and takes it across Europe. And in between these times, she shares her wisdom. So today we're going to be talking about the marketing funnel. And with that, I'm going to hand over to you, Finola. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Emer, and welcome everyone. So I'm going to share a screen and I'm going to use the dreaded PowerPoint for everyone. But I think you'll find it useful, okay? So what I want to talk to everyone about today is the marketing funnel. And it's the thing that scares everyone so much, no matter what kind of business you're in. You could be a maker, you could be a tech company, you could be a pharmacist. Funnels scare people. And what I want to do today is actually simplify this process for you, kind of demystify the language and all that kind of stuff. And so I did a bit of research before I wanted to talk about this to you guys today. And here's what everybody says. So you're not alone if you feel like this. And there's so much to take in. It just feels so daunting. How do I start? Where do I start? There's so many moving parts. Just the whole thing blocks me and I don't want to know anything about it. And that's what I hear about the funnel. Whereas I want to present the funnel to you as something that could be a tool to help you connect all the dots of your business together, all the marketing dots of your business together. We're just going to simplify it. At the start of this, I'm going to share with you some of the kind of quotes of what people call it, and then I'm going to simplify it, just so you can, to help you navigate, if that makes sense for you. So 3 things I want you to walk away with today. One is, I want you to understand what the funnel is and how to use it for the greatest impact in your business. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I want to show you to see how you can make each of these 5 steps a conversion point. So always in your marketing, you're thinking of taking them to conversion. And conversion, all it means is, how can I bring them into the next step? How can I bring them closer? How can I bring them closer to me? So if you see the image on the right-hand side of the screen, this is like a tunnel for your funnel. And what I want to show you at the end of that tunnel is this light shining, so that you can see a way through, so it makes it really clear. So each one of these lines represents one of the 5 steps. So we just want to take them from one step to the next one, to the next one. And we're patient and we're seeing how to make that happen. And then when we figured that out, I'm going to show you how to turn that into an engine that keeps moving, so you're not always starting at 0, okay? Bear with me, right? So you're ready to get stuck in? And if you could type yes in the chat and tell me that you are, that would be wonderful. So lovely. I love when everybody says yes. Great. Okay. So here we go. And if you get stuck, let me know. Okay. So I'm going to set some rules of engagement, which I do for everything that I do, which is, in case people share stuff in this webinar or you have questions, we want to be respectful. So no judgment. We are where we are. Confidentiality. I won't share your story outside this group, and I will respect your intellectual property. Your business is safe with me. I just do that at the start of every one of my sessions. Okay, so let's get all of the descriptions and definitions of funnels out of the way first, and then we'll simplify. So what is it? A marketing funnel, sales funnel. It's also called a conversion funnel. All those lovely words. It's also called, bear with me, a consumer-focused marketing model that illustrates the theoretical customer journey. Important piece here is journey, okay? Toward the purchase of a good or service. Okay, you won't have to remember this after now. It's been here since 1898, used to be called the AIDA model, And you would have seen this in the promo stuff: awareness, interest, desire, and action. But you think of it like this: a way to look at your marketing in a much more connected way, which makes your marketing come to life. That's what I want for you today, okay? Problem is, in this model, that it has a tendency to overwhelm, and that's what we were saying a second ago. What it does, it's seek to connect the dots across all your marketing and guides your customers to key decision points. So the decision-making process for your customer is not about will I buy or won't I buy, it's will I get closer to you. So there are about 5 or 6 steps to get to you. You've got to warm them. It's the same idea as if you go on a blind date, you don't ask them to marry you on a blind date. You get to know them a piece at a time. And this is often where sales fails, is because we think we're just going to sale immediately. But if you understand that we have to take a few steps to get to that sale, then you can relax into it and move people through the funnel. That's how I want you to think about it, okay? So let's simplify it and make it work for you. So here's my alternative naming convention for you, okay? 5 stages. So instead of going AIDA, I want you to think like this and even start to remember this. It's like, here are the 5 steps. Be there. Step number 1, which is where your customer is. Be where your customer is. Be seen there. Be considered, be chosen, and be championed. These are the 5 steps for you to create a funnel that flows and actually turns into an engine for you. So be there is the awareness stage, okay? So you have to be wherever your customer is. And you have to understand how your customer is looking for someone like you or looking for the answer that you might have for them, what kind of hashtags they use, what events they go to, what shops they go to, what online stores they go to. So you've got to be where they are. Step number 1. The next thing is, it's no use you sitting in a corner. You have got to be seen by them. It's not enough to be there and to be quiet. You have to be able to be seen, to stand out from all of the rest, okay? So how will they notice that you're there? So they can go, this is where I will buy my piece of art for my living room wall that I really want to fill. Or this is where I will buy that beautiful piece of jewelry. Or this is where I will buy my new set of dishes. So you've got to be seen so that you can be noticed. And if you're noticed, you can be considered. And that's stage 3. So how can you activate their interest more than just looking at you, but actually interested in what you have for them? Can you make them do something to start this relationship with you, okay? Stage 4 is to be chosen. This is action. This is where they buy. So how can you make this process really simple and easy for them to understand and remove any of the obstacles in the way, okay? And then the last stage for you is to be championed. This is what we call advocacy, but it's also about, I have a one-liner that I share with everyone, which is, marketing is your truth told. So this is the truth of your why of your business, why you create these beautiful things. So your truth told, but great marketing happens when other people share that truth, when other people share your story. So that is what we call it, being championed, testimonials, feedback, 4 stars, 5 stars, telling everybody to buy this product because it's amazing. That's be championed. We want to encourage that. And if you consider that we bring people through each of these 5 stages, then you know that you have to be active in each of these 5 stages to move those people through each of these stages to get you to have a consistent flow of people through the funnel. Does that make sense? Can people say in the chat if they're following me? How are we doing? Can you say yes in the chat if you're following? I'm just going to check. Yes, fantastic. Great. Love it. Okay, we keep going. So think about those stages and think about, so not to rest on your laurels, because what you want to do is be active in your marketing and not passive. We want to get to this place of being watching what's happening and being active and understanding that each one of these stages, the be there, be seen, be considered, be chosen, be championed, are conversion points. that you want to tip them into the next stage at every point. So understand that. We know this is a conversion point. This is where I bring them closer, okay? And that the other thing is that it has to kind of flow naturally. You're not pushing them down the funnel. You're inviting them into the funnel because it's the next obvious thing for them to do. What is the next obvious thing for them to do in their relationship with you? And you want it to be naturally, it's like that you ask them out onto the dance floor, and when they're comfortable on the dance floor, they want to spin you around. You know what I mean? Getting closer. So it has to flow naturally into the next stage. So here's the other thing, to really crack funnels, and this is a mistake that I would see in a lot of places, is that while we may think of the sales process as one process, when you start out, we need to simplify because we need to understand the journey of each type of customer. So in order to understand the journey of each type of customer, then we give it space, and you start with one customer for one type of product for every funnel. So you could end up having, if you have 3 types of customers, maybe one is a collector, maybe one is someone who's into interior design, maybe one is a housewife, I don't know. So say you have 3 types of customers. They each have 3 different reasons for buying something from you. So give it space. Do one funnel per customer per product. And that allows you to really understand what can trigger someone into the next stage. And when you do that for each customer, at the end, look for the overlaps, look for the leverage where you can get kind of more money for what you're doing, more money for your endeavor, your effort into it, so that you are focused and then you weave the strands together to make them work more effectively. But one at a time. You've got to do it one at a time, or it'll just be bland and you will not stand out above the noise. Okay? Has to make sense. You've got to think of it as a journey you're taking your customers on. Okay? So let's look at it again. I think there might be a question. Can one product be one product type? In my case, just art prints. Yes, absolutely. So art prints, but for what type of customer? So it's one product, art print, for what type of customer? So you might have a series of art shops that stock your prints, or you may be dealing directly through your website and you have a type of person who wants to put those prints on their walls. They have different motivations. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So here we go. 5 stages. Again, be there, be seen, be considered, be chosen, be championed. Really good to kind of have that running around in the back of your mind all the time when you're thinking about your marketing. Okay. Now, I want to help you dive in. Okay. I would love if you have a piece of paper in front of you, and I'm going to show you how to map this a little bit better. Is everyone okay to do that? If we do it as we go, and if you are happy to just take a piece of paper out, get a pen, and what I want you to do is split it into 5. Yes, everyone's okay to do that. I love it. Fantastic. You're brilliant. Okay, so this is a worksheet and I'll show you how to do that. And if afterwards you want to have access to this worksheet to help you, just message me, okay? But for now, you can also use a piece of paper and you just simply split it into 5. 1 at the top, down, 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 5, okay? So here's how I want you to think about it. At the top of that page, pick one customer and pick one product. So one product is art prints, for example. And what type of customer are you thinking of building this process, this sales and marketing process? Who are you thinking of for this customer type? Is it someone who's into interior design? Is it someone who's looking for a gift? Who is the customer? So at the top of your piece of paper, tell me the product, tell me the customer. I mean, you don't have to tell me, you're telling yourself, okay? So take a moment and just try it for now. So in this process that you can walk away with a funnel. So pick one, have a moment. And if you've got something on the top of your page, please press yes. And I'll keep going. As in type yes in the chat, that's what I mean. Okay, Do you have a product and do you have a customer? Fantastic. Great. First step down in your funnel. Fantastic. Here's my point to you. If you don't choose the right customer, your funnel won't work. So you really focus in on the right customer for your product, for what you're doing. And that takes a bit of research, but choose the right customer. But you know a lot about your customer, so be confident in it. So choose the right customer. And if your product doesn't fit that customer, if you have the wrong product for that customer, your funnel won't work. So take a moment to make sure that, have I got the right product for this type of customer? Great, I love it. Next. Now, the thing I want you to do next is, one of the secrets of great marketing is to really truly understand that customer of yours and truly understand challenge they face or the thing that motivates them. It's what is the problem that you're solving for them? Is it that they have an empty wall? Is it that they want to invest in this piece of art? What is the problem that what are they trying to solve here that you have the answer for? And you really think about this. Think about the language that they would use to, as in the back of their minds, when they start to do a Google search to find a product like yours, what's the language that they're using to describe the answer they're looking for? Okay, so write that directly underneath the customer, the product, and then the challenge. And when these three things work together, you've already started to build your strategy because all of these things are aligned. It's like I have the right print for that person who wants it on their wall or wants it for their daughter who's going to college for the first time and they want a funky piece of art on the wall. And that's the challenge they're facing. I want a funky piece of art on my wall. Or I'm an art collector and I want an investment piece that's going to appreciate in value. Or I want a new set of dishes for my beautiful new dining room that I just redesigned. Who's the customer? What's the challenge? And what's the product that gives them the answer? Okay. When you know how they speak about the challenge they have, then you will know how to market to them. You're already flexing those marketing muscles to really understand what the next step is just by knowing those three things. Okay. And the deeper you know those three things, the better your product gets, the better you know your customer, and the better you're able to match your products with what they want, with who they are. Okay. Now, ready for the next step. Okay. This is the first of our 5 steps. First of the 5 steps is to be there. Okay. So where is that customer that we just had a dance with? Are they searching? Are they on Instagram? Are they using certain hashtags like art, Irish living room art hashtag? Are they looking for solutions or like beeswax wraps so that they can wrap the lunch for their kids and be more environmental? Are they, so where and what are they searching for? What hashtags are they using to find the answer to their challenge? What networks are they in kind of to understand where they might be talking to other people who are they in an Irish design network? Are they on Facebook groups that are looking for things? Where are they that you can find them? Are they in certain shops? Are they in certain online shops? Are they regularly buying from the same space all the time? And if these are the places that they're regularly buying from, that's where you need to be. So that's both in supply of your product or at trade shows or things like that, or online where you have a direct relationship with them from your website, from your Instagram account, from Twitter, from LinkedIn, and from wherever else it is. Okay, so you've got to be where they are. That's the first step. So take a moment and write down, where are they? Where is this customer that's at the top of my sheet of paper that I need to be? Take a moment. And when you've done that, tell me yes. I'll keep going. So if you can type yes into the chat, and we will keep going. Yes, I love it. Well done, guys. Okay, so you'll be there. And again, if you're not there where they are, you can't convert them. It's that simple. You've got to be. So we start very simply. Okay, who is my customer? What do they want? What is their problem? Where are they? Be where they are. Okay. Next one. Be seen. It's the next band on your sheet of paper. Okay. So it's not enough to be there. You need to be seen there. So how are they going to see you? Are you doing things like, if you're at a trade show, have you a really good trade show stand that's not just blank and in the corner and boring? So is there a way that as they pass by the stand, when we eventually have stands again, when they pass by the stand, that yours seems to be so attractive that it stands out, that you put the effort into making it a beacon for what you do? Because if you make it a beacon for what you do, then you will attract the people who are looking for that answer, who are looking for that gift for Mother's Day, or that uniquely Irish gift on Christmas. So you are making that a beacon there. We do the same thing online as you would do at a trade show. We want to make ourselves a beacon for the people who want to find us. So we're doing things like perhaps videos and how you make things. And you're talking about your craft because you're showcasing you making this beautiful thing. And perhaps you're also showcasing other people looking at it, buying it, and using it or wearing it. So you show yourself as a beacon for what they need the answer for. So being seen and being seen consistently. And often we talk about signature content, that you're delivering something every week religiously, or every time you produce a piece or make a piece, you're showing this process, this signature content that shares who you are and what you're about. Another piece of signature content that can be used is your reason for how you make it. Very popular at the moment would be kind of environmental reasons, how you are helping the planet because of the nature of the organic materials you're using. Perhaps you have a part of your business that you give a percentage of your process, of your profits, to a very good cause. And that makes people warm to you because they understand who you are, and you're having a way of connecting with that person on a much more emotional level than a product level. And we want to deepen, remember, the purpose of the funnel is to deepen the relationship. And what can you share in the being seen stage that allows you to deepen the relationship? Okay. And think about things like they would ask of, are there questions that they would commonly ask when you're thinking about signature questions? Like, what size is that ring? Will this fit? How does this look like on my neck? Will this suit me? How can I wear that scarf in 4 different ways and only buy one scarf? What are the things, what are the questions that that lovely customer is asking that you could answer in your content and bring them closer to you? That is being seen, okay? Take a moment and jot down a couple of ideas of how you can be seen, either physically out in the marketplace on shelves with really good merchandising on shelves, at trade shows, or online and in social. How are you being seen? Take a moment. And when you have it, type yes in the chat and I'll keep going. Great, guys, you're so good. Okay, we shall go to the next stage. And just again, if they can't see you, they can't convert you. So if you're not there, they can't convert them. And if they can't see you there, you can't convert them. Okay, so we're now into the next stage. Excuse me. I shall take a drink. Our next stage is being considered. Okay. Now, being considered, I always like to think of it as when someone is considering something, it's like they kind of want to take you for a test run. So if it is a piece of art, then you need to show them that piece of art on the wall. So it's that context. You need to have you, so that you're going past the thing of being there and being seen. We want to get them deeper in. We want to get a connection that's much more deeper. We would really like in the considered stage for them to sign up to a newsletter, to take advantage of, if they sign up for the newsletter, that you can build this relationship with them and share discounts with them and things like that, that you can actually get them to the next stage. Perhaps they download something like the top gifts for Irish gifts for Christmas that you assemble with a group of you together, even best Irish gifts for Christmas. Maybe it can be personalized service that you give to them because they've signed up for it, that you will remind them of the birth dates or the important dates, and you will make sure that you have a wonderful suggestion for them. So that you're trying to get them to consider you and consider your products on a deeper level. The other way that you might be considering is showing them that product in action so that they get a bit of a closer idea. Maybe they can't hold it in their hands, but what's the next step? So in other industries, you'd see them doing this in a webinar or something like that to get, or downloading what they call a lead magnet. But in your case, perhaps what you want them to do is maybe you'll show them what the product looks like on the wall or at the side of the table, or how best to use this product, how to clean and wash it, or how influencers use this. Perhaps you're going to use a technique that allows them to see somebody who they respect use this, and in that sense, and when that person gives them a discount voucher or a reference for you to say you're amazing and your products are amazing, then that brings you closer. That means that they're warmer in their relationship with you, and they are definitely considering getting closer again. It's trying to get them to imagine what it'd be like to have this in their hands. How can you do that without them having to do it? Okay, so this is my idea for you. If they can't take it for a test run, get them to imagine it on their walls, being opened by a loved one, if it's a present like a Christmas gift or a Mother's Day gift or Father's Day gift, or using it in their kitchen. So how can we manufacture that scenario in our social media and how we communicate? How can we do that? And even better, if we get them to be really interested in how this looks, how can we get them to sign up for a newsletter to bring that relationship even closer? So if you're showing them on the wall, perhaps you can give them tips for how best to hang a piece of art, or how best to care for this type of ceramic. What will you do to help them come closer to you and take your product for a test run? Take a moment and jot down an idea. And remember, we're always thinking about what their challenge is. And if we can tie our test run to their challenge, and if their challenge is, my wall is purple, what color piece of art should I have on the wall? I need to wrap my son's lunches in something that's biodegradable. Can you tell me more about how that works? It's a really great book I would like to recommend to all of you, and it's called They Ask You Answer. And it looks at a series of all the questions your customer will ask of your product. And when you can answer those, you get to this consideration stage. Take a moment and jot something down. And when you have it, type yes in the chat. Fantastic. Great. You're great. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Very good. Okay, fantastic. We're halfway. I love it. Okay, now, next one is the bit we all love, which is being chosen, okay? There's a huge percentage of online sales that fall at this hurdle. There's also a huge percentage of sales in physical retail outlets that fall at this hurdle as well. Both cases, it's like merchandising, you know? So being chosen, how do we make it easy to buy, right? And it is this idea of, if you have an Instagram account, are you going to have, can they buy from your Instagram account? Can you set up a Shopify account so they can buy directly from Instagram? When they're buying from your website, is it easy to put it into cart? Are you adding a lot of money for delivery costs? What is it? What's the block that would stop them? Is the block that would make them abandon the cart? What can you move out of the way? Don't be lazy here. We lose so much business here. Take a moment and create beautiful packaging to, well, not beautiful packaging, but so that when they receive this product from you, because this is part of the chosen piece, when they open the door and get the box, so first of all, you get the shopping cart sorted, and then the delivery guy comes to the door, knocks on the door, or leaves it at the door. You open the door, your customer opens the door, they lift it up and they open it. And is it a pain to open the package? Is your branding all over the package? Are you bringing them closer? Are you telling your story in the packaging? Are they looking at this and going, oh, yes, I'm opening up this beautiful wrap, this tissue wrap that's branded, or that is not branded and completely organic, which is the other side? And is there a nice personal note in here that makes this experience even warmer? So it's more than the product I give them. And when they take it out, is it easy to use or put into place? Do they have to do an awful lot of scrubbing to get it off the ceramic? Or can they just give it a quick spruce, and is it easy to put it on their dining room table? Is it easy to put it in that corner? What's the relationship like? Are you putting something in there that maybe gives them 10% off for their next offering? Or are you putting in a welcome to the fold, like that I've got loads of more things that I'm going to show you as we build our relationship even closer? How are you tying in that relationship? The two things here in Chosen. One is make it easy to buy. Make sure the technology is in place. Make sure you've got it in the currency that they want, that they can buy simply from you. Never be scared of putting prices up, no matter what size of company you are. Sometimes people think that they have to have an appointment to show something, or price upon request. Forget it. We don't want price upon request. Pricing very clearly, really good shopping cart, make it easy to buy, think of delivery, and get the cart working. If they have a problem, because someone will always have a problem, what is your solution to that process? How are you helping your customer buy from you? So that's the shopping cart and the purchase piece. Same with your retailers. If you're stocking in retailers, are you taking care of the merchandising? Is your product stackable? I've seen so many companies lose business simply because they couldn't stack their products because they came up with new innovative packaging and it just doesn't stack. And if it doesn't stack, they're not getting their revenue per square footage that they want. So does your retailer love when you come because it just flies off the shelves, easy to stack, easy to take care of, that you check in regularly to make sure that they have the right product in stock for you and it's moving. Take care of that relationship. Then the other part of the relationship is when their beautiful customer receives this wonderful product from you, what experiencing are you giving them then? That's just an amazing part of this relationship. You're at your closest point there. You're at this maximum point here. Make it special. Make it special. Okay. Hopefully I've given you a few ideas there. So remove the obstacles: shopping cart, price, delivery cost, packaging, connection to you as opposed to somebody else. So that if they got a package from someone else, they would go, no, I want to come back here. I love being here. Okay. This is an opportunity. Take a moment, write it down, have an idea, type yes in the chat when you've got it. I'm just checking for yeses. Yay! Cool, I love it. Okay, lastly, this is the favorite piece. Okay, I just want to make sure that there's no questions. I'm just checking chat. Great, okay, good. I'm so glad you joined too. Okay. Last one, be championed. I love this. It's always about being, So being championed means that someone wants to tell your story for you because they had such an amazing experience buying from you, okay? And they want to keep this relationship going. Remember the simple idea of when you say who you are and how great you are, everyone will go, oh, yeah, okay, that's really interesting. But when someone else that you trust sings your praises, don't you want to buy faster? Okay, so what we want to do is make sure that people have these wonderful experiences of working with us, of buying from us, and our wonderful products that make their mother-in-law feel really loved or when they wear that piece of jewelry around the neck, they feel really special and really unique. And what we want is for them to share that with others. So we want to encourage our customers to share that they are proud to wear our products or use our products. So find ways to encourage your customers to share that story. Very often, if the experience is so impressive and so unique and so valuable to them, they'll do it anyway. So if you take care in the service part, then they will take care of you and spread the word. You may have to nurture it a little bit at the start. You may want to share these stories with influencers or people that you think are connected, but you want to encourage this championing piece because this is a real game changer and helps move that funnel, which just goes one way, into a flywheel that turns and turns and helps you grow your business. This is what they want. So sometimes they might give you a video testimonial. So what have you got? You know, you want them to rate your products. If you were writing a book, rate the book. If you're doing something on Google or anywhere else, what are you doing to make sure that your product or service is being spoken about? Okay. Take a moment and write it in your sheet of paper. Okay. Tell me yes when you're finished. And we're just there. We're nearly there. I have one last step for you. Okay, let's just check. Has everyone pressed yes? And I think we're good to go. Next. Okay, I just want to check. There's no questions. Yes, okay, great. Good, we'll keep going. All right. Service makes champions. I think you kind of got that off me now. It really makes champions for you, okay? You don't have to add extra or money off or all of that. You just have to add your own unique value. So when people talk about money off, 2 for 1, blah, 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 all of this stuff, add value, but just make sure, but think about it as unique value, not extra value. So uniquely from you. So what does it feel like to be you, okay? So your service of what it's like to work with you, to buy from you, that's what makes a champion, okay? Now, this is my big message. Champions transform that funnel that just goes one way into a flywheel, okay? And I just want to share this idea of what a flywheel is first, okay? So this is the flywheel effect. So another little quote, but bear with me, you know, I will demystify, don't worry, okay? Jim Collins, great author, originally coined the phrase, the flywheel effect as a strategic business tool. And here's the bit that's important, okay? Here's this quote. There's no single killer innovation, no solitary lucky break, no miracle moment. And I'm always asked for miracles, you know. What's the magic formula? There isn't one. This is the magic formula. Rather, the process resembles relentlessly pushing a giant, heavy flywheel. That's what marketing often feels like to people. Turn upon turn, but building momentum until a point of breakthrough and beyond. This is the point. Your marketing, to make your marketing work for you, is to make sure that you have all of those 5 steps working consistently with small repeating acts of marketing. And if you are repeating all of these acts consistently over time, you turn the flywheel. So the trick is to isolate those repeating acts, right? And that's why we have the funnel, so that you can isolate each of those pieces so that, you know, stage 2 being seen is your content that resonates, because people love to see you doing up a new house or creating that beautiful piece of art, or throwing that clay pot, or painting and stamping that clay pot, and how the magic happens in this creation, and they just love to see it. And when they buy one, they want to buy the whole set because they want to see more, okay? Stages 3 and 4 being considered, be chosen. It's kind of the newsletter, special offers. Don't forget about abandoned cart. I've seen so many people turn their business around by simply automating that email in the abandoned cart piece, okay? Who else buys this? What are the influencers? Seeing it in situ, seeing your piece of art on a wall that looks like their wall, okay? And then lastly, how you take care of your customer, the shares, feedback, sharing that they bought it, how lovely they've seen it. You know, you could also, in the kind of champion pieces, can you send me a picture when you hang it on the wall? I'd love to see it, you know? So being championed. Repeating acts, think of it. Think of all 5 stages and what you crack at each stage, and be patient as you see them move through the funnel, and then keep doing it. Measure what works, keep doing it, and it will turn. So take a breath. Say yes if you're still breathing. I will assume you're all still breathing because I don't want to keep you much longer. Key things to remember, okay? Someone has definitely said something, so I'm hoping they're breathing. Still breathing, yay! Okay, so key things to remember for you. One customer at a time. That way you'll know what they need in their own words, because that will help you market to them better. One product at a time. And when you do it one customer, one product at a time, you might tweak something just to suit them, okay? Look for flow, for it to make sense through each stage. And don't get stuck at the top. Lots of people get stuck at the top of the funnel because they think they have to just produce content, and they don't think about the rest of the funnel. Make sure you move through the funnel yourself. Make sure you've got something in the funnel at each stage. Make sure it flows. When it flows, you can turn it, okay? Make the flywheel. So now you know, I hope, what the funnel is and how to use it for greatest impact, how to make each step a conversion point that you can measure. You can measure, how am I doing? How many people are coming to my site? How many people have signed up for my newsletter? How is this working? Can I tweak this piece? Because remember, you won't get it right first time, but you can tweak it, be patient, keep it moving, be consistent, repeat, test, measure, improve. And how to turn it into an engine that doesn't need your steam, so you're not always going, to do some marketing today. It just becomes part of what you do. And then it works, and then it flows. Okay, the biggest message I have for you is to see how everything you do connects, and everything you do has an implication for marketing. That's it. Have you any questions?
Thank you so much. That was absolutely terrific. Do you know, if you were at a job interview, I'd give you the job. I don't think I'd bother interviewing anybody else on this topic. I did a lot of snooping on you, and you were highly recommended on Keepers. I think that was really super. And Dan, who follows these quite a lot, and he's great for me because he gives me a barometer of all my speakers. And he private messaged and he said, you know, that you're really on point and very relevant. So I mean, that was just, that was better than 3 years in college. That was just really terrific and clear and really meaningful. And I love the remove the obstacles piece. And what you're saying about, you know, don't have this price on request. I couldn't agree with you more. I think price on request is a daft obstacle.
Comes from this idea of being afraid that other people your competitors will know your pricing. Cares? They know anyway. Cares?
Yes, of course they do. I mean, I mean, they do. They exactly do, and the consumer knows exactly as well. So I mean, I thought that was a really, really good point. Really, really good. So anybody's got questions, please put them into the chat. And Roy, are you okay? Do you want something in the chat, Roy? Something in the chat. Let's see.
Oh, cool.
Very effective. You're getting a lot of praise there.
Make
sure that,
questions, guys.
No, it was superbly clear. Really, I mean, I can't tell you how clear. Look, there you have lovely presentation, nice clear points, and thank you. I mean, I would say if most people had sit down now with a blank page, they'd remember, and had to transcript, they'd remember the top level things that you were speaking about, which is
wonderful.
It's a written.
If anyone wants that worksheet, you know, DM me on Instagram.
Yes.
So no problem.
You don't mind that, do you at all? No.
No.
Does anybody want to tease out any points before I let Finola go? Really, just I mean, that was just absolutely terrific. Isolate the pieces and remove the obstacles. That's what I'm going away with.
No. Is it better to create for the customer or to create for yourself? Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so Generally, when businesses start, you start by building something that you're really passionate about or creating something that you're passionate about, and then you find a customer that matches. As we progress, I'm a believer and a lover of passion in what I do, and that it comes from, purpose of why am I here? What am I guided, or what's my passion to create here? And that can be no matter what business you're in. So we do start from our own gut and our own hearts and what we want to create, because there's something being fulfilled here. But there's also a really nice dance that can be had with the customer that adds this other flavor, that they can enrich the creative process by helping you, guiding you to create something else. So, I think there may be part of what you're, as a maker, maybe part of what you do has to be to serve your own soul, but also entertain this idea that they may give you inspiration to collaborate, not necessarily on a one-to-one basis, because that might be a commission, but that the voices of your customer may inspire you to create something else that equally serves your passion, but really fulfills their need. And I'd really urge you to dance with that, and absolutely in the way the trends are of how things are built nowadays, and I mean built in a very lofty term for any industry, but that we welcome the customer in and we're better for it. And you will possibly sell more, that is a reality.
Could you come down from that absolutely fabulous intellectual height that you're at, that I'm not competing with at all, and give me 3 things that would be a real no disaster that we should be avoiding, that people do
in marketing.
Yeah.
Number 1, hiding.
Okay. And expand on hiding, because I could be totally wrong, but I think my guys are fairly good at being out there on Instagram, and
there's loads of, I think that there's a lot of shoulds. We get trapped, entrepreneurs often get trapped in, I should do this and I should do that, and I should have a blog, or I should be on Instagram and I should do that. And in actual fact, if you follow flow, if you follow how you want to share, and share the things that inspire you, not the things that you're making. Share the story behind the product. I think that, yes, makers are better at not hiding, but perhaps you can deepen the relationship by sharing a little bit about who you are and why you are doing this in this way. What's the story behind this that could help your customer know you better and become more loyal to you? That makes sense?
Yes, that does make sense. That really does.
That's one thing, is hiding.
Hiding's one. Do you have a second for me?
The pricing is another one.
Pricing
for makers generally don't charge enough.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Can you say that 3 times, please?
Makers generally don't charge enough. Makers generally don't charge enough, and makers generally don't charge enough.
Thank you. They might believe it from you.
And there's a way around this, right? And it's, one, don't fall into the trap of it being the customer's fault. It's not, it's yours. Okay? You teach your customer how much you're worth. That's a big question. And if you are, and you will, and there's a very interesting thing in the maker space where you're told to suffer for your art, and that art for art's sake and all of this kind of stuff. Yeah, but we all have to eat, so there is a path you can take yourself on. There's a really good book, right? Which is You're a Bad Ass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. I'll type it here in the chat, okay? Just give me 1 second. You're a bad ass at making money by Jen Sincero, okay? Great book, because it'll help you realize your worth. And if pricing is a challenge for you, then tackle it head on and understand it. Understand it about your feeling of worth, your feeling of value, and all of that kind of stuff. We can never price more than the market will bear. But if we work on this in how we value ourselves first, and then we understand what the market will bear, it's bringing both of those together. You can't jump from being a fiver to 500 overnight. But what you can do is say to myself, but I believe I am worth this, or I'm going to work at being worth this, or feeling that I'm worth, my products and what I create are worth this. So perhaps I'll set myself a deadline of my next step is in the next week, I'll be comfortable asking for €50 for this. And then another period of time later, it might be 6 months, no, it might be a year. Now I'm more comfortable at asking for 200 for this. And then later I'll be more comfortable adding. And you don't think of it as an on-off switch, because you can't teach the market like that. You have to groom the market to believe you are worth what you believe you're worth. So I would say to you is don't accept it. Don't blame the customer. It's your responsibility. Take yourself on a path that matches your worth in your mind with the worth of your product, you know, and in the mind of the customers, three of you, the offering, your mind, the customer's mind. Is that help?
That's great. Super. And my number 3?
Damn.
I could be putting you too much on the spot then.
No, I just have to think. Help each other. Help each other.
Help one another. Okay.
Because I'll say this to you, every entrepreneur faces this thing of, they feel that they're the only ones that have felt, who have met these obstacles, that have felt this way, that are overwhelmed by marketing, that hate marketing or hate doing the accounts or all of that kind of stuff. They think they're the only ones, and as a result, there's often a shame attached to that. But can I say this to you? I have my most common used phrase with everybody that I work with is, and I nod, this is normal. What you're feeling is normal. Everyone faces this stage. There's a journey that entrepreneurs go on, and everyone faces that crappy feeling that you felt, that you feel you're doing wrong now, and you're not doing wrong, you're just learning something. And everyone has had to learn it. So give yourself a break, talk to each other and help each other. And I bet you'll be surprised how much you can share with each other and buoy each other up to move to the next stage.
That's very sound thinking. It's great advice. So we have the 3, don't be hidden, watch your pricing. And I really reinforce that. I totally concur with you. That makers are I feel self-effacing, and they underprice themselves in the main, and help one another. Okay. Yeah. Going on from that, I have a question here. Great praise for you again. And in terms of raising your prices for various reasons, what is the best way to bring your customer along with you?
Understand them, understand how it's about value, right? So where is the value? And I don't mean value as in cheap, I mean value, worth, you know? So it is about what they believe it's worth. It's what they believe it's worth and what you believe it's worth. And it's understanding their perceptions. And sometimes you have to let go of that customer to move to the next stage. Because sometimes in your path, as you grow your business, the customers that you had at the start that you really love and appreciate may not be the customers you need to have to get you to the next stage of your journey. And you need to look at that and see, have I outgrown my customers, or do I need to introduce a new type of customer for a different type of product to bring me to the next stage?
Very good answer. Yeah, I think that's a good answer.
Something here, for those that make very high quality products that compete with premium brands, charge a similar price and limit your product runs. Strive for the perception of excellence and scarcity to your clients. I feel funny about scarcity. There's a lot of discussion of late around this, using scarcity as a way to artificially dupe customers in some ways. Maybe uniqueness is a better term than scarcity.
I think that's comprehensively answered all the questions. And if there are no more questions, I think I'll let you off the hook for today. I'm absolutely inspired. I'm really inspired. I'm in great form. This is super, and I'm so delighted you mentioned pricing.
Cool.
Really.
Thank you so much. Lovely to
Yeah,
meet
thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us today. Finola, it's been an absolute pleasure. And as always, thank you everyone for today. Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.